Hey everybody, Boris with BK Forex. Welcome to the crosses section, February 6th to February 10, 2017. And as this week begins, we're really going to be focusing on what came out last week as the weakest to the end of the week, which was really cable. Cable really ended the week as the weakest of all. And Aussie really ended the week as one of the stronger trades. So to me, some of the more interesting trades are going to be the crosses of these particular week-strong pairings as the week begins. Most notably, I like pound Aussie to the short side, even though it's already made a big move. I'll show you on the charts, because there's still scope to go towards the 160 level, although it is a very, very volatile pair with very large range. So 167 is the nearest realistic resistance, and therefore you have to give yourself a lot of room for stoppage over here. Euro pound looks much cleaner and better to the upside than it has in a long time, and therefore it's support 84 and a resistance to 88. It looks like it's made a nice UE turn and is playing into both the European strength and also the cable weakness as the week progresses. So very much worth watching and taking a look at that particular pair. And then the RBA versus RBNZ, who's going to be more dovish trade. Setting up, although there is some scope for concern, I think, on the Aussie Kiwi, because it's definitely coming up clear against some serious resistance. But still, it looks to be much more of a buy to dip or a penetration of the highs trade. Let me show you on the charts exactly everything that I mean. So let's start with pound Aussie, because that is a very clear collapse here off the 67 resistance point. Now, yes, you know, in any kind of situation, you could always have a stop dead in the tracks here and make a higher low, but it looks to be like the momentum is very much to the downside here. Any further weakness in the pound certainly provides a scope for a move all the way down to the 160s. Any strength in the Aussie, if the RBA is at all hawkish or even mildly neutral and robust, should provide also further scope for a move here. So I like this trade to the downside, but be wary of a very, very large retrace risk here that you have to account for in order to stay in the trade. Euro pound is the other relative weakness trade in the pound this week, and it's clearly sitting up very nicely. You're wrong basically if it's 84.50 or so. Up until that point, the trade really makes a lot of sense. Any kind of retrace here still holds the upper slope trend that we're seeing on the very short-term basis that kind of started really at the end of January. I like the breakout here. If this can penetrate towards the 87, it really opens up the full test of the 88 highs. That would be a very strong move to the upside on the euro pound. And then last but not least, the RBA versus RBNZ trade this week. I like this to the upside. There is one concern to me. The fact that we kind of flamed out at the highs here suggests that maybe the penetration of Aussie to the upside is limited here. Perhaps a dip here into the Monday trade ahead of both central banks could be an interesting trade here. Generally, though, this trade really is good unless it breaks 103s. Unless it breaks 103s, any kind of a dip over here still provides scope for further upside. And ultimately, a test of the 106s to the upside is the trade that everybody's going to be gunning for in this particular pair. It's very slow moving, but this is the 1 week where the move could be much more significant because of the central bank risk on both sides of the equation. So that's how the week shapes up. I like essentially pound to the downside, Aussie to the upside as the week starts, and that's going to be the way we're going to be trading it. Wish you guys the best luck, the best of trading. Boris, over and out.